Grandma, I want you to cook something good today.
Y'all, good afternoon. I'm in the kitchen this afternoon. 2 o'clock here in Cochran, where I live, Cochran, Georgia. I usually do my videos in the morning, but I'm doing it this afternoon because Jenny, my daughter, she's coming in from work, and Promise, her daughter, is here, my granddaughter, and so she's going to eat supper with us when she picks up Promise. So we are going to have something that she loves, and we love it too. I've been doing so many low carb recipes lately, no sugar, gluten free. This one is going to be gluten free, but it's going to have potatoes in it. So it's
If you
not
want
going.
it to be low carb, put the taters aside.
Yeah, don't use the potatoes, but it won't be this casserole. It's going to be pork chop and potato casserole. It won't be this casserole if you don't put the potatoes in it.
Well, if you put the
But you
potatoes
can
in,
put rice.
if you put the potatoes in and then take the potatoes out and don't eat them, it's
Well,
still low carb,
I
isn't it?
don't know. I don't know. All right. All I'm going to do, these are just bone-in pork chops. So I'm just going to salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic. I'm just going to do the garlic and pepper on one side. I'm going to brown these a little bit in a skillet behind me before I put it in my casserole dish. I like to do it that way. It just gives it more flavor if I brown them first. So that's just a little tip. I do my pork roast and my beef roast that way. If I'm going to cook my pork roast or my beef roast in an instant pot or in the oven, I will brown it on all sides first before I put it in my whatever I'm going to cook it in. So that's just a little tip. It just makes it a little bit better. All right, and I've got 6 pork chops here. And you can use the boneless, and these are kind of thin chops, so it's not going to take them that long to cook. Um, but I'm really not wanting to cook them through. I'm just wanting to kind of brown them. So, and you use any kind of seasoning you want on yours. It doesn't matter. Whatever seasoning you like. All right. Put this up. My skillet is getting hot behind me, and I'm going to put about probably 2 tablespoons of oil in it. And when it gets hot, we are going to, well, it's hot now. It's kind of smoking. And that's what you want to do. You want to quick fry these. Get a quick brown on them. Okay? And these are kind of big chops, so I'm just going to do 3 at a time. I don't want to crowd them in my pan. And I've got them on high right now, because I just want to quick brown them. Now, when you put meat in a skillet, it will kind of stick, even though there's oil in it. Leave it until it browns, then it will turn loose. If you try to turn it right now, it's stuck to the skillet and it won't turn loose. It's going to stick. So that's just another little tip. Leave it till it browns and then you can flip it.
When I leave it like that, it turns black.
I don't mean that.
Goes to smoking.
Crazy. Sometimes he's crazy, y'all. All right, while that's doing, I'm going to put those there. In this pork chop casserole, we're going to have potatoes, onions, carrots. I'm going to do it in a 9x13 pan back here. And I've got on my channel gluten-free cream of mushroom soup. Also, I'm going to have in the description box on this one, it's going to have brown gravy mix in it. I'm going to give you the recipe for gluten-free brown gravy mix for those out there that are gluten-free. And it's going to have beef stock in it. So all the flavors in it are really, they're intense. So it should really be good. All right. All right. Got a good brown on it. Turn it. All right. While the other side's browning, I've already cut some of my onions. So I just took an onion, cut it in half, then I'm cutting in quarters. And I'm just slicing it thin like that. Y'all see me do it like this a lot for casseroles, or one skillet meal, something like that, because this is the way we like our onion. Now, if you like yours smaller, chop it smaller. It's just up to you. Okay, got 2 carrots out here and 6 potatoes. There's going to be 4 of us for supper, but hopefully I'll have some for Jenny to take home with her. So I'm doing 6 potatoes. Usually you do 1 potato, but some of these are kind of small. You do 1 potato per person is the general rule. Probably this size, but one like this, it might take a potato and a half. And I'm just going to slice these potatoes real thin, about like if you were doing for scallop potatoes or something like that, about like that. Now I'm going to put them back down in my water. Okay. All right, I'm going to check my pork chop. Okay, they're brown. As brown as I want them. All right, I'm going to put these in. Give them a quick brown. Wash my hands. This one is a pretty big carrot. Now, if you have the small baby carrots, you can use them. But I had the whole carrots today, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut them about like this, about this size right here, about the size of one of those baby carrots. Now, when I start getting up here near the end, I'll show you what I'm going to do. And you just want to cut them in like bite-sized pieces. Okay. That one wasn't too big. This one is big, so I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. Going to cut it. Now, when I get up here to this big end, I'll go ahead and cut that end off. I'm going to slice it like this, right down the middle, and then I'm going to cut it in bite-sized pieces. That way, it's not so much bigger than the others, and it'll cook about the same amount of time. All right. Let me go back here, check my pork chop. Now, there's a lot of sediment going to be in this pan, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to take about a cup of beef broth right here, beef stock, and I'm going to mix it. I'm going to put it in my pan and get all those sediments out, and then I'm going to put my brown gravy mix in and my cream of mushroom soup. Then we're going to put our pork chops down, our potatoes or our onions and our carrots, all of that. We're going to layer it, and I've got my oven set on 375, and we're going to cover it, and we're going to cook it for about an hour, or as long as it takes the potatoes to get and the carrots to get done. So I'm going to finish letting these brown. I'm not trying to cook them through now. I'm just trying to brown them. So I'm going to finish cutting my potatoes, and by the time I get through there, these pork chops will be brown enough, and we'll be back. I've got my pork chops up. I've got all my potatoes. Now, when you put that stock in this hot skillet, it lifts all those sediments off the bottom, and that's what you want. You want all of that sediment, because that's where a lot of your flavor is in those sediments. So now if you've got a non-stick skillet, you won't have as many sediments as you do in a cast iron skillet or one like this, because it's non-stick. And when you it just doesn't, your sediments don't stick to the bottom like they do in these. All right. Now, I'm going to add this is the equivalent of 1 pack of brown gravy mix. It's 3 tablespoons of my homemade, and I'll have the recipe in the description box for you. Okay. So we just gonna stir this up good. It kind of knotted up when I put it in, so that's all right. I'll get all those out, even if I have to get a whisk and do it. Really, you're supposed to mix it in cold, like the cold stock, but I wanted to lift those sediments off the bottom first before I put my brown gravy mix in it. Okay. I'll just keep mashing them up. And if I need to, I'll get a whisk, which I think is what I'll do now. I'll just take my whisk. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to whisk this together. I may have to add a little bit more stock. We'll see. May not. Okay. You turned off. All right, y'all. I'm going to add a little bit more, just a little bit of stock to that, maybe 1/4 of a cup, because it was a little bit thick. All right. Now I'm going to put my cream of mushroom soup in there. And I'm going to stir it around. Now this, whoo, you talk about flavor. This has got some kind of flavor. Now you can use cream of chicken soup if you want to, but I just thought cream of mushroom. I've always used cream of mushroom soup though in mine. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit more stock. So that's about 1.5 cups of stock for the 3 tablespoons of brown gravy mix that I had. Okay. We're getting ready to put this thing together. My oven is on 375. A little bit more stock. So that was 1 2/3 cup. And that won't be too much for the casserole that I'm making. Okay. All right, my gravy is ready. My pork chops are brown. I've got my veggies here. All right, I'm just going to layer some of my potatoes like this. Then I'm going to layer a few of my carrots like so, a few of my onions like that. On that first layer, I put my pork chops, my potatoes, my carrots, my onions, and then half the gravy. Now I'm putting the rest of the potatoes. All right, I've been layering y'all saw me put my pork chops, my potatoes. Now I've just done a second layer, and I put gravy, half the gravy over it. Now I've just done a second layer of my potatoes, carrots, and onions. And I'm going to put the rest of this gravy mix over it. Now, you talk about some rich gravy. This is rich.
I'm going to go put the no vacancy at supper sign out, if you don't mind. I see right now. Ooh,
All right, y'all, let me
this is going to be good.
I need a spatula. And my pan is not hot now, so I'm just going to take it and pour the rest of this gravy because I want to get all of this out of here. I'm telling you, these potatoes and carrots and onions, pork chops are going to cook in this gravy. Y'all. And it's going to be sealed with foil. I'm going to cover this, and you want it completely covered because you want it to steam inside to cook your vegetables.
You want it dripping back down. Don't you?
Pardon?
You want the juices dripping back down off of that.
Yes, you do.
Foil,
yes, so you want to seal it because you want, it's going to take that steam to cook those potatoes like you want them. All right. This is going in a 375 degree oven. I'm going to set it for an hour. A little carrot got left out. I'm going to set it for an hour. Then I'll check my carrots and potatoes and see if they're done. If they're not, I'll cook them 10 more minutes, but I'm sure they'll be done. And I know my pork chops will. So when they get ready, we'll come back and we'll show y'all what these going to taste like. 1 hour on 375 degrees. Ooh, y'all. Let's check and see if they're done. Oh, the potatoes are so tender. I know those pork chops are just coming all to pieces. The carrots are done. Everything is done. Y'all, I'm not going to taste this because it is so hot. I may taste one of the potatoes, but look at this. Now, you talk about a pretty dish. Can you see that smoke? Anybody would want this sitting in the middle of their table. So, let me get a fork. I'm going to taste one of the potatoes and carrots. I'm going to get the one in the juice down here. No, that one. That one's too hot. I'm going to get one of these on top. Oh, my. That just melts in your mouth. Man, that is so good. That is delicious. Y'all need to try this one. It can be a one dish meal. All you got to do is just brown your pork chops. You don't even have to, but to me, they're much better if you brown your chops before you put them in your casserole. So, because you got your potatoes, your meat, your carrots, you can put peppers in this if you want to, whatever. I think you could use rice in the place of potatoes if you wanted to. So, it's yours. Make it like your family likes it. Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Y'all, this is so good. Pork chop and potato casserole. See y'all next time.